Okay, so we're just continuing on from chapter 5, where we stopped off on page 28, second paragraph. I'm stuffed animaling the playground so well that after a while there's only monkey bars left and one shape that's coming toward me. So I stop blurring and suck my sleeve more. Blurring is good for the things you don't want to see, but it doesn't work so well for the stuff you actually have to deal with. Josh is walking toward me and he's smiling even though he runs into William H's personal space and knocks him down. You shouldn't walk into someone else's personal space, especially not William H's. William H is autistic. He's in the other fifth grade class. He has Mrs. Brooke time too, but Mrs. Brooke says it's good for everyone to be in a regular class. But he screams a lot, so I'm glad he's not in my class, except for recess and PE. Now he's screaming loud, and the lady who helps him tries to get him up, but William H is kicking too much. Josh has a big, grinny smile on his face. You shouldn't smile when you do something bad because a smile is supposed to mean you're being nice. I wish people would follow the facial expressions chart like they're supposed to. The lady who helps William H talks to Josh. Her hands are on her hips, and her head is moving up and down, and she keeps leaning forward and back again. I think this means she's mad. Sometimes it means the chicken dance, but I don't think that's what she's doing right now. Finally, she walks away, and Josh shrugs. This means he doesn't get it. I decide to be helpful because that's something I'm good at, so I go over to Josh. "Ew," he yells. "You're like a dog, slobbering all over your sleeve." I stop sucking my sleeve, even though I don't know why he says ew. I like dogs. Dogs sit next to you and put their chin on your lap. Dogs are sweet and kind. I'm happy if people think I'm a dog. "What do you want, freak?" Josh says, and I remember why I'm there. You shouldn't get in someone's personal space. What's it to you? I don't know what that means, so I say again, you shouldn't get in someone's personal space. He puts his hands on his hips and his nose wrinkles up. What of it? He must mean, what is it? Personal space is this. I step right in front of him. I even step on his toes to show him where his personal space is. "Get off me, you freak!" he yells. "You need to remember your manners," I tell him. "You should say, 'Excuse me, please, but you're in my personal space.'" His head leans forward and his mouth drops open. I think this means confused, so I tell him again, "Listen carefully. This is what you say. 'Excuse me, please, but—'" "Get out of here!" I shake my head. "No, that's not the polite way to say it. You say, 'Excuse me.'" "Why are you bugging me?" he shouts. "I'm not. I'm teaching you how to say 'excuse me.'" "I'm not going to say it." "Okay, you can say sorry." Didn't have to. I didn't do anything wrong." I look at the person. "Yes, you did." I say it slowly, so maybe he'll understand. Josh's face is red, and he's breathing hard all of a sudden, like he's been running, even though he hasn't been. "Is this about your brother?" Why is he talking about Devin? This conversation is about William H. "I don't have to apologize for that. That wasn't me, okay? That was my cousin. I didn't do anything." "Your cousin is dead, remember? You are the one who did something wrong," I say, because I saw him push William H. out of his personal space. "I can't help it if your brother was shot." I don't know why he's yelling at me. "It's not my fault." I hate shouting. I'm starting to shake. "They tried to save him at the hospital," Josh yells. I'm shaking my head now because I want this to stop, but he doesn't. His heart was hanging out and they couldn't close his chest up. "Shut up, Josh!" It's Emma from my class. There are a bunch of kids behind her. Stop it! Why are you talking about this?" I suck my sleeve, but I can't help moaning, even though I'm not supposed to. "She brought it up," Josh says. "She's accusing me." "Well, she's upset." Yeah, a boy says as he gives Josh a shove. Josh practically falls into me as I step away, and Josh lands on the ground. Some people laugh. Josh stares up at me with slitty eyes. It's not my fault her brother is dead. No! I hear a scream, and only when I try to run, far, far away from it, but it keeps following me, do I realize that it's me. Chapter 6, The Heart. I find 32 books in the library about how the heart works. Dad talks with the librarian and says it's okay for me to use his card too, so I can check out a lot of books. Some of them are kids' books, and some are adult books, but I can read anything because my reading score is so high, they can't even rate it. When I was in kindergarten, I was above 8th grade level, and that was as far as you could get in kindergarten. Now I'm in 5th grade, which is why I read anything Dad can. Sometimes I read the same books over and over and over. What's great about books is that the stuff inside doesn't change. People say you can't judge a book by its cover, but that's not true because it says right on the cover what's inside. And no matter how many times you read that book, the words and pictures don't change. You can open and close books a million times and they stay the same. They look the same. They say the same words. The charts and pictures are the same colors. Books are not like people. Books are safe. The librarian won't let you take the physician's desk reference home, even if you hide it in the middle of 32 books. She says you have to leave it in the reference section so others might enjoy it. I don't think I should have to leave it in the reference section just so others might enjoy. I know I will enjoy it. But she says that's not the point. She never does tell me what the point is, but Devin says sometimes you just have to do what a teacher or librarian says, even if you think it's stupid. Also, he says you shouldn't tell them out loud that you think it's stupid. That's a secret that stays in your head only. On the way home, Dad stops at CVS and buys me a whole bag of gummy worms. Why? I ask. Aren't these your favorite? Yes, but I don't have 10 stickers in a row yet on your manners chart. Mrs. Brooks says you're doing an excellent job at school, considering everything. Well, she's right. I make a smiley face with my mouth. I deserve these gummy worms because I do spend all my time considering everything. Just don't always get it. I eat one green gummy worm and one red. Their names are Eddie and Talia. I always name my gummy worms before I eat them. When we get home, I stuff some in every pocket of my pants, so I'll always have one when I need one. Then I start reading. There's a lot of information about the heart in 32 books, and I read it all. Here's what I'm writing down on my word study notebook, because these are the words I want to study more than eliminate and devastate. Chambers, aorta, atria, ventricles, veins, arteries, valves. I also learned that you should exercise right, like Devin, who plays soccer and baseball and runs almost every day. You should eat good foods like Devin, who doesn't eat nearly as much candy as me. You shouldn't smoke because it can hurt your heart, and it smells so bad it makes you want to throw up. Devin never throws up but even he says that. There are many heart diseases. Some of them you get from smoking and drinking and being fat and not exercising. Some of them you get from an infection. Some of them you get when you're old. Some problems you're born with. Most of the diseases you can do something about, like take lots of pills. Sometimes a heart problem happens all of a sudden and there is not much you can do, but you should try to get to a hospital right away to increase your chances of survival. What I can't find is how long you can make a heart work once it is shot, and can other body organs take over for it, and can a hospital keep you alive without it, and are you the same person without it, and are you a person at all? This is all I can find on that topic. A gunshot wound to the heart is almost always fatal. So it was just very interesting to see how the kids stood up to the bully and protected Caitlin. That was nice to see. Interesting again how she reacts to these situations, how she doesn't understand emotions and feelings, but she does what she's learned to do, which is try to read faces and emotions, but she doesn't feel them. And however, we do see glimpses, though, of how she felt about her brother. So she does have feeling in there. Perhaps she just can't identify the feelings. And the bully kind of tormented her about her brother's death, and now you can see that she's fixated on being shot when he told her the description of how the heart was out of her brother when he was at the hospital. So now she's really focused on that piece of information, and she's learning what she can about the heart. That's obsessive compulsive behavior, and she shows that from time to time. So far we've seen that a little bit. Okay, so that's good for now, and then the next video will be the next chapter.